Hello, everyone. This is Cyrus.
And Amanda.
And Cory.
Welcome back, Cory. And this is the Gowns
So nice
and
to be
Crowns.
back.
Yes,
It's
we're
good
glad
to
you're
have you back.
back.
It really is.
I'm still shocked, but so grateful to be back.
Grateful. All right. This is the Gowns and Crowns podcast. And today we're going to talk about something that I think it's important for every girl
It's
to
a
have.
life-saving topic, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. Even when we did our reality show, they featured this in the reality show because it was something that we did. We think it's important that actually, if you're a pageant coach, if you're some type of director, or if you're a contestant, everyone needs a 911 emergency box. So it should be what goes in that box. And this is something that you can take backstage that is life-changing.
Yeah, it's a
Will help
lifesaver.
you.
It's a
Lifesaver.
lifesaver.
Well, yeah, not life-changing, but life-changing.
Especially like, because in some of your other podcasts, which are so beneficial to watch, so if you haven't, check them all out, because you're going to learn something in every single podcast. But when you're talking about the organization of going to international pageant and to do all of these things, with those things, you need to have those tools within you to keep your mental. I'm big on that, everybody, as y'all know, big on keeping your mental status calm and together
Positive.
and positive. So if you have a kit with, if anything could go wrong, we're going to break down for you today this kit that's worked time and time again. And being backstage, I've seen it save many a girl, and you've had it on.
I'm going to talk
On
about
every
a couple of
pageant
things.
level,
Yes,
every
that have
pageant
helped
level,
me.
like from the
Yes.
festival pageant all the way to the international pageant. So the first thing, hold that thought. First thing you would do is you need a box or a carry-all, something, with a handle on it that you can put all of this stuff in. So that's the first thing you have to get. Decorate it, put your name on it, do whatever you want with it. I know Amanda had one, yours was aqua and it said 911 and rhinestones across the top. What was the most beneficial thing you as a contestant felt like was in that box?
The very first time that I pulled out my little box of tricks, it was just a simple little mirror, because I was in a dressing room that
I love
was.
mirrors.
No kidding.
Never one he doesn't like.
Shocker.
Never met a mirror I didn't like.
Ever.
I was in a dressing room that was just packed to the brim, and by the time that I got in there, there was no space for me to put my stuff down. So I had nowhere to sit in front of a mirror. I ended up sitting under a table that every time that the door closed, I was using the big mirror that was on the back of the door, and every time the door would open, I'd have to stop. But then, I have my own little mirror in my Pageant 911 kit. So I was able to pull that out and use that, since I had no counter space to sit and do my makeup and my hair and do all the things. And also, too, I don't know why, but at pageants, especially pageants that have swimsuit, they love to have pizza parties and
Yeah,
bring
they
out cookies
always-
during rehearsal. It's so cruel. So another time, it was at the same pageant, I pulled out my healthy snacks that I had packed in my Pageant 911 kit, and my Advil and Tylenol helped with my sore feet. So those are the three things that the first time I really pulled out the big box of tricks that really helped me.
I think from a contestant's point of view, those are all very important, and I'll let you say it. Also, bring your girl things.
Yes.
Even if you're not scheduled, I will say this because it always happens. Sometimes I always have them in my
Murphy's
kit.
Law.
And I don't know if this is politically correct, but ladies, I am pro you and on your side. So we always have some of those things too, because sometimes you never know what you need. So.
Right.
And I just think that's a hard thing to borrow from people.
We don't want to borrow it.
It's a very personal thing. It's personalized.
There you go. I like that word.
It's
That's-
personalized because people are willing to share, but
Cory for
it's
the
specific.
save. Cory for the save.
Every now and then I do something wild.
So Amanda has talked about the things that, so a mirror, Advil, all of those kind of things that are super, super important. I think, from my point of view, the things that I've seen that we have needed backstage is needle and thread, safety pins, bobby pins.
Because there's
Yes.
always a clothing emergency. In the world
Always.
of pageants, there's always a wardrobe malfunction. Even at the Oscars, how many times have you been like, my zipper just popped? It's,
Yeah.
Right.
My boob fell out. Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Oh, goodness.
That may be for ratings.
Well, that's true. That won't work in a pageant, though. I'll just go ahead and tell you right that.
Yes, let's not.
Yeah, the booby trap.
But like you were saying, with the sewing, you want to have like your safety pins.
Well, we were literally at a
Double-sided
pageant where
tape.
people know we carry this with us, and they actually called my assistant. We were sitting in the audience, and they asked, Kyle is our assistant, and they
Yes.
said, "Is Kyle Kirchman in the audience?" And I was like, "What did you do? What did you do?"
What did he do
I
now?
was like, "I've done nothing."
He did
It's a-
something good. He
it's
was
a-
the one who kind of came up with the concept.
concept of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Kyle's
director
smart.
said, "Can Kyle meet me at the side of the thing?" So what it came down to was there was a young lady backstage who busted the zipper out of her dress, and nobody had safety pins or anything, and Kyle was like, "I can sew her into it." So he went and got the kid out of the car, went backstage,
Sewed
and
her right
literally
on up in that
sewed this
dress.
girl into her dress. But it would have been great if she would have had
Because if
those
she has
items.
it and you pick it out yourself, that way you can make sure the thread that you have matches the color of every single wardrobe. Like if you have a button that you need to sew on for the interview or this, so have colored thread that would match each one.
Well, like we were
Right.
talking about when Amanda was at Miss USA, we mentioned this in another podcast. Amanda decided to wear her backup gown instead of her actual gown, but it needed a strap on it. So she literally cut a strap off of a cocktail dress and sewed it to that dress on her own. But we had already supplied her with needle and thread and everything that already matched. Another thing that I think is important is I keep these in my car and everything is Tide pins.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
so easy at a pageant to get something on your interview outfit or your gown, whether you're eating or whether it's makeup. I see lipstick a lot of times. Girls will get lipstick on something because they come out with their full face of makeup and
And they don't think, or somebody else, and if you have pageants where there's lots of age ranges, I'm not trying to be terrible, but the little girls come running up hugging the pretty girls, and sometimes it's on their dress, and.
we addressed
Right,
that in
right.
another podcast. Keep
Okay.
your hands
To
to yourself.
yourself.
Do not be touching other
Yes, some of
girls.
those, handsy.
Handsy,
It's not
yes.
okay. It's
And the
not
little
okay.
ones will touch their face, and then they want to touch you, and then you end up with a
Right.
nice little makeup handprint on your dress as a going away gift.
But in
for them.
regards to your pageant kit, and I think we covered everything for clothes with the exception of some fabric glue. That's always a good thing
Oh,
to have
yeah.
for your people like me
Well,
who really
even
can't
hot
sew.
Fabric glue.
Like
We did
fabric
hot
glue.
glue too.
Yes.
Oh, you did hot glue,
Yeah,
yeah.
'cause especially when you do these pageants.
Oh,
where
the
girls
rhinestones,
wear
the
co-
earrings.
Well, no, think about the girls that do the costumes, like at the Christmas pageant or
Mm-hmm.
Shamrock. A lot of these MacGyver moms have like glued these outfits together and part of it comes apart backstage and
Mm-hmm.
I'll see them back there gluing it back together and I'm like, oh, get it,
Mm. Oh,
girl.
my gosh. Another thing that's always important to have in your pageant kit as well, and we've kind of touched on this in the past as well, when it comes to makeup and essentials and things, you need to have the things you need to touch up. So even if you're getting your hair or makeup professionally done, sometimes we're not there with you.
Well, then you're not
until you
allowed
go-
backstage.
And
Yeah.
sometimes
Right.
we are, sometimes we're not. But even if you have that, it's always good to have like a little hairspray, a little hair serum. If you know you have flyaways, things that are customized for you. It's going to take a little work to put your pageant kit together, but once you do it once,
It
the
will
change
last.
is not going to be that hard.
Right.
For each pageant, and it's really going to last, and it'll be good. But you also need to have bobby pins that are your hair color. You don't want to have black bobby pins and blonde hair.
Right.
Things like that are really good.
And
with
those
it.
are little things, y'all, that you realize, when you say that, that sounds very trivial, because you would think somebody with blonde hair
But it's
wouldn't have black bobby pins.
be a big
But do you know how
deal.
many girls I've seen standing on stage with their hair beautifully put up, and they turn around and there's a bunch of black bobby pins sticking out in the back?
That's all you can look at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You also need a brush and a teasing comb.
correct.
Please cover up those extension clips. I was
Don't
like,
give away your secrets.
I know.
Oh my gosh. But also in the kit, makeup wise, you want to make sure you have a setting spray. If you can do a translucent powder that's really good, your shade of lipstick, your lip gloss, and if you're oily, blotting powders, all the things that you know to look your best. Breath mints and little mini mouthwashes, because you always want to make sure that you have your confidence. So, you're getting ready to go into interview or something like, oh, I need a breath mint. Just, even if you're 30 feet away from them, that's just going to make you feel better.
Still.
Well, sometimes people don't realize,
Yes.
Cory, that's a great point. A lot of times when people are stressed, it brings out your breath, it brings up whatever you've been eating or drinking.
And if you and a lot of times I know that the pageant directors do a great job of trying to include and keep things, but rest is really not in the equation. You're kind of run ragged.
Yeah.
So being as prepared as you can be really
definitely
can
helps
help you with
when you're
that.
tired.
Now, one thing, when you're talking about rest, though, although rest is not really a big option, I always encourage girls, especially if it's a pageant that's a week long, to take a blanket. Because a lot of time the rehearsal halls are very cold.
Yes.
Because they have to let the air run constantly, or it won't be cold by the time the pageant's there. So you're there in your bathing suit or your Sophie shorts and your tank top practicing, but it's freezing in the
Right.
auditorium.
Right.
And that's the one thing they never mention in to do the the list of things to bring to the
And
pageant
and
is
a
a
cute pair of
blanket.
comfortable shoes.
Yeah, oh, I agree with that.
And
I hate
additionally,
an ugly shoe.
to piggyback off of that, if you're going to wear hoodies, girls, because we all love hoodies and it's great, get one that zips up if you're going to be competing because you're not needing to pull things off
Yes.
your hair.
So Cory, you've kind of glossed over some of those
Yes.
things. Tell us specifically what should go in a 911 kit where hair and makeup things are. You mentioned lipstick.
I had a little list. I made a list so I didn't forget
There you go.
anything.
That's good, 'cause I-
So it's good
yeah.
and organized because my brain's woo sometimes. For your makeup, you want like a compact mirror, like she said, your blotting powder, translucent setting powder, lipstick, main competition shade, a concealer, mini hairspray and hair serum, as I said. But the hair helpers, you always want to have like a travel size brush or comb, bobby pins that match your hair ties, elastic bands. You can get clear ones if your hair changes color.
Yes. Well, some girls have dimensional hair, so you
Right,
need a
and
clear
also
one.
like a
Right.
dry shampoo, if you know your hair, a dry shampoo and or a shine spray. Yes. And then I was also, there's miscellaneous items that you want to put in your kit too, and you kind of touched on those a little bit, like with your Tide pen. You're also going to want to make sure that you have some tissues. The breath mints we talked about, and like you said too, a small snack or something that's healthy that you know and your body knows. Because this way, if you do feel like you're weighing, you can go grab that and it's going to give you that boost.
Right.
And if you're,
Oh,
I do want to say this too, because it's a love-hate relationship with me about what you can and can't do for other people backstage. I'm weird about whether you should lend people clothes or stuff like that backstage, which we've talked about. But if you have a 911 kit and someone else does it and they have an emergency, help them. Don't just leave them stranded with a busted zipper and maybe
Right.
all they need is a safety
if you have
pin.
time. If they're literally calling your name, you're like, yo, help somebody use this, get that.
Tell a chaperone or somebody backstage, hey, go in the dressing
Ideal.
room. I've got.
I know what the new thing is that they need in their 911 box.
Ooh.
Girls now take magnets because a lot of everybody has to wear a number or wear a sash, and they give you straight or safety pins, and those will
Yes.
pick the fabric of an expensive gown.
Uh-huh.
Now they're going and you can get these magnets that automatically glue to it. So then you can use the magnet to put it on and not have to,
nice.
and you can
It
buy
doesn't have
them
any
on the-
damage.
Yeah, so then they don't
Okay.
damage your dresses.
That's
you
good.
know. Because a lot of people don't think about when they order these numbers and they come with safety pins and stuff like that, but now these dresses are so expensive, and when they're chiffon or silk or all of this kind of
can't
stuff,
just put
you
a-
can't just put anything through that fabric.
Right.
Because it's going to leave a spot on it.
Agree. Another thing too, and Amanda, you can weigh in, and Cyrus, you as well on this, is your shoes. Things that are good for your shoes, like the extra, like to take moleskin just in case. And if you're definitely wearing new shoes, you really need to break in your shoes before you go to a pageant, or you're gonna
Go scruff them up on the sidewalk outside because they can be really slippery on the
slicker
bottom.
slip. So you need to make sure if they are brand new that you have adequate things and like some cushions or some things for your feet as well.
Extra shoe
Yes,
pads. Extra shoe-
Band-Aids.
extra-
Yep,
extra
Band-Aids.
shoe pads
Moleskin.
are really a big thing. A lot of these things that we're talking about, it seems like, oh, why would I need that? But especially if you're at a pageant where, that is 2 or 3 weeks long, girls tend to lose weight and they shrink. And then all of a sudden, the shoes that they were shoving their feet into, now they're loose.
And your
the dre-
clothes are
And their
looser.
dress is hanging off of them. And again, that's not the people at the pageant's responsibility.
Right.
That's your responsibility. You know, when you see a girl up on stage and her dress is too big, or she's stumbling down the stairs because her dress is too big, and everybody goes, blah, 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 blah. Ultimately, that's that girl's response. That's that girl's responsibility.
And the other truth of that is, you can enter any pageant you want to, and it's great. And if you just want to do it for the fun, for the experience, for the sisterhood, I've had clients who they literally go there because they don't even care if they win. They enjoy being around the other girls. That is not most people, but there are girls,
Right.
and you know girls like
Yes.
that will go do that. And I think that's really good and helpful. And I completely lost my train of thought, but I will come back to where I was going with that because it was important.
No, but that's good. No, but I think all the points you make are wonderful. And like I said, I've seen some really good situations where moms backstage have really come together to help a girl, or just like the director of that pageant, she knew we were there, and she was just like, I know you have girls in this pageant. This isn't one of your contestants. but would you help her?
Correct.
Absolutely.
And I'm so glad you said that. That's what was my train of thought. Thank you. Woo-woo. Again, I warned you guys. Why am I here? I don't know. Thank God, by the grace of God. But what I was going to say is, if you're doing this for fun, which is amazing, we support that. Eventually, if you do well, because this has happened where, Olivia Colwell, pageant, and, it's just meant to be for some people. It will eventually become a sport. And when it becomes a sport, you need to be prepared and you need to step up to the plate, because if you don't, every other contestant will. So
Yes.
this is your chance to help build in a little bit of confidence for yourself, to help build in a little bit of security and a little bit, if you're type A and super OCD, well, guess what? This is going to be something that's going to help you through your pageant and
Yes.
it's going to be literally your best friend backstage, is your 911 kit.
And not only is this 911 kit important while you're competing, it's super important if you win. Because you're going to take this around with you for 365 days, because you're going to be in situations. I know when Amanda was Miss South Carolina USA, and especially when you were Miss USA Earth and you were traveling out of state a lot more, you're getting dressed in cars and gas stations, and you don't have access to all these things
Right.
unless you bring them
With
with you.
you.
And it's good to have that. It's good to have that security. I like the way Cory said, it's that security to know that you are self-sufficient and you can take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
That you are
And-
self-sufficient and you can take care of yourself. That you are self-sufficient. What is, and Cory, we talk about this being in the pageant world. A 911 kit
Is
good
modeling. Yes.
also, because I know, we've been on photo shoots before where, you and I did a
That's a
photo
little
shoot
different
together.
kit that you take, or for me as a professional, I take, but you're right, but as a model, you would take one as well, too.
Well, Amanda and I ended up at a photo shoot one time where they provided the gown for her, but it was like 3 sizes too big. Well, 800 safety pins later,
Yes.
she looked like $1 million in it, but we brought the safety pins.
Mm-hmm.
Or you'd have just been standing there, in a big gown.
Having to hold it.
Well, and it's helped me still to this day. Even as a soccer mom and a dance mom, I have people who come to me and say, I know that you've got what we need,
Yeah.
whether it's medicine or a Band-Aid or safety pins. More than likely, I've got it in my Mary Poppins bag. Pop it on out.
I will like to say, just a PSA, if you do have any medication you take or anything in
that's
your
a-
kit
Make
that you
sure
do
that
not
that's
share or you talk to
Oh,
moms,
yes.
that is something that they need to do for themselves. Do not get yourself in trouble, because we're talking about, being a pageant beauty backstage and being helpful, but you also want to make sure that you protect yourself.
Cory,
Right,
that's a good
right.
point, because I have a lot of young ladies that use inhalers, and I have
Mm-hmm.
2 girls that their moms have made it aware to us that they have EpiPens, because when these kids are backstage by themselves, if something were to happen, we're responsible for that.
Right.
So it's important to in your 911 kit, if you need an inhaler, it's important that one be in there.
Right.
If you have an EpiPen because you're highly allergic to things, then it's important for it to be there.
And that's a
Right.
great point. And this is not something you necessarily put in your 911 kit, but if you do have some kind of severe allergy, I think that your parents should probably do this in your life anyway, but you need to contact the organization
I agree
and
with
contact
that.
your director. They want you there. They just want to make sure they don't put you in danger. Like, if we're going to do a photo shoot and jump in peanut butter and you're allergic and going to die, we're not going to put you in it,
Right, right.
No, that's good though. And a lot of our,
Paints the
I won't
picture.
say a lot, but I have a handful of students also that, they have Dexcoms, which are the,
For diabetes?
Yeah, for diabetes. And, when they come to class, their moms have made it very aware of what their situation is. But the kids now are so efficient, it's like on their phone or anything like
That's
that.
great.
But I keep orange juice, and now that I've learned what they need, I
Mm-hmm.
keep things on hand, so if we ever have like a situation in class, we don't have to run down to the store. We can help them right there. I think it's one of those things you always hear, the more you know. But the more you can share with directors and
Sure.
producers and especially choreographers, like if you have an inhaler and you get winded really easy, that's important for a choreographer to know. So then we can avoid a 911 situation.
because we had our
Absolutely.
911 pageant kit. I
Yeah.
see what you did there.
Yes, tied up.
Pun intended.
I'm just a marketing whiz. All right, so I think we've all agreed that a 911 kit is super important.
Yes.
So let's go down the things. So Cory, what would be
Yes.
the number one most important thing you think needs to go in that kit? You can only pick one.
A mirror.
All right.
Come here.
All right, Amanda, what
Because,
would you
at
pick?
least you could do something if you.
Mine would be, since you already took mirror, I would say a healthy snack.
Okay.
And maybe like one of those little liquid IVs that you can mix in some water if you need, so you don't get dehydrated.
Amanda is correct. A lot of times at these pageants, they tell you they're going to feed you, but what they don't share with you is the food is sponsored by like fast food restaurants and stuff like that. And the
Well,
last
we are
thing
very appreciative.
the last thing you're going to do is eat a hamburger before you walk out in a swimsuit. You know, I think for me, I always, my fall too is the safety pin.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of 911 situations diverted because of a safety pin. Well, you know, I grew up in, you know, drama in school, theater, not drama, theater. And I did a lot of community theater, and we lived by safety pins, you know, because your costume
Has been worn by 20 people before you.
Yes.
Right.
So it's all held, it's all held together with a safety pin. Corey, what about this, before we wrap up, what about, I know we talk about this touch-up, that touch-up, what about tanning cream? Like, is it,
Well, especially if you're going to be at a pageant for longer than a weekend, you got to maintain.
That's
yeah,
the,
maybe that would have been a question for you, because I know you use a particular product, and you always made sure you had it to keep yours touched
Kept that in
up.
my 911 kit to keep it.
Because a lot of girls
lasting.
now, they forego the regular outdoor tans or the tanning bed tans. A lot of girls are going to spray tans now. And so I can't personally tell you what I think. I don't do that. So I
Right.
don't know what you would need. But I think it's important to whatever your tan requires to stay touched up for a week and a half.
that you have it. That is the proper way, because I was trying to, that's why I was rolling my eyes, everybody, because I'm like, that's such a complicated thing with the tan, but you answered it beautifully. Make sure whoever you have it, if you're doing it, the product, get to learn the product before you go, and then take everything you'll need to touch up. Or if you're getting a spray tan, speak to those professionals on how to do it to keep it up.
Don't do it the day before the pageant.
Yeah,
for the
do
first
not
time.
that is not the time to test. Oh, this is just gonna work and be fine. No. A bad tan has literally cost 5 clients I know of right now. It cost them.
No,
a bad
you're not
tan.
wrong.
No,
Yeah.
like,
A
there's
busted
just,
tan is the worst.
and I know that sounds crazy and that sounds trivial, but if you've not exfoliated, you didn't have the person that did it right, they've done your face, you have dry patches, like, you will look, it just doesn't cast right, and then it
Doesn't
can-
look natural.
And there's nothing in a 911 kit that would help that.
That's not even the heaviest of makeup at a certain, that's why I've always like, if you have a phenomenal person that does your spray tan, I think I've said this before, I've said it anytime anybody will listen to me, don't have them do your face, because you can always match the makeup, because if something happens on your face with the spray tan's wrong, then it's really difficult to fix.
Yes.
But if you have a phenomenal person who you've used before, that's okay, you know, so I'm not coming for you in the spray tan industry, I
Test
used to
it
do
out
it too,
first.
some, but yeah.
Right,
Test
right,
it out.
yeah.
And I think the last thing that I can think of that I hear our girls talk about, I think if you wear contacts, you'd be doing yourself a great favor to take extra contacts in your.
Oh, yes, and
911.
the re-wetting solution.
Yeah, because I know when Corey has put eyelashes or stuff like that, sometimes girls will pop an eye contact or it'll roll around because they're trying to get everything done, but it's good that
I have
you're-
never popped out anyone's contact for the record by
I
doing
didn't
their
say you, it's
makeup.
just they, no, I've had girls come in where they've had on false eyelashes.
Oh, no,
and they're
totally.
blinking to
And
the
it
point,
pop- and
and
it
they
pops
pop
out.
an eye contact, and I'm
Yes.
Or
like,
they've just irritated it or something like
totally.
the
but it's
glue or
good to have
something, yeah.
those types of things in there.
Yes, I can attest that you have done great flashes.
See, we're lucky. Corey is our 911 kit when it comes to what
Y'all
we
are
need
both
to
my
look at.
911, walking 911 kits.
And dressing, yeah. Dressing,
Yes.
Yes, I'm your dressing dream. All right, so we all agree that 911 kits are very important, and we've tried to give you a laundry list of what we've had experience that our clients have needed. I would like, if there's anything that we didn't mention, I
I
would
was
like,
just gonna say
Yeah.
that. Can y'all please drop it down there if
Please.
there's
In
the
anything that y'all can
comments,
think of that we
I would like to see
should
something.
add?
And there's always some new amazing
'cause there's so many
invention that
creative-
came out
yeah.
that like I don't know about, and I'm like, how did I not know that this existed? You know,
Yes,
we get
please
so caught up in
share.
our life, so we are all about learning.
And like I said, we got some MacGyver moms who
Mm-hmm,
have figured out some things that we can do. So I would
Never
love to-
underestimate a pageant mother. Ever.
This is Cyrus,
And Amanda,
And Corey.
and this was the Gowns and Crowns podcast. Amanda,
it's a world of beauty and a universe of possibilities.
we'll see you next time. Thank you for being here, Corey.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.